Yo, what's up? What is up, good people? It's your boy Carcino here. Oh, I got an alert on my phone. It says that I'm live. Wow. That is so cool. Now, let me tell you what else is so cool, good people, especially about myself. Listen, I try to take it easy as much as any other man, right? But business always keeps me awake. Can't help it. Keeps me awake. Now, as I told people, Yahoo and AOL were done 10 years ago. 10 years ago. That's right. But Verizon owned them. And people was like, I got stock in AOL. I got stock in Yahoo. And I said, man, this is crazy. Now, here's the situation, people. You're not going to make any money owning any stock in AOL or Yahoo. What happened to Yahoo? How did Google beat them? They got surpassed. Hold on one second. I'll tell you how. A very interesting process happened. What had happened was, hey, thanks, Mr. Philly. I appreciate the super chat donation. I really do. Oh, the Patreon videos are flying out like teeth. Now you just got the story that nobody really knew. I spent a lot of time typing that. So y'all better read it. Learn about Alice Ball, as a lot of people are just now learning about Alice Ball, but they don't know about the mystery about Alice Ball, the things that they should have been talking about. So I never do Airbnb, but let's talk about it. See, AOL got surpassed once they went to digital dial-up. Once digital became a thing, AOL was still the ones holding on to dial-up, and they were more concerned about phone services than everything else. They were more dealing with those things, and they were always pretty much outdated when it came to modifications. Then it became Yahoo. Yahoo spent a lot of money on television advertisement, and they spent millions of their budget. Yahoo was the biggest thing in the world. You remember those commercials? Yahoo! Who remembers those? Well, they spent heavy on their budget, getting celebrities, everything to jump on Yahoo commercials. Google didn't advertise it on commercials. They didn't care about doing commercials. They cared about advertising on the internet. So they cared about actually advertising where people were online. And while they kept focusing on those things, Google was able to counter the market. And everybody was getting tired of Yahoo. They didn't like the commercials. And they were catering to people who barely go online, or the people who are online are already there. So now you advertising to them. Google was able to corner that market. And pretty soon they were out of business. They were just done. Nobody cared about Yahoo. The only thing that was keeping them afloat for years was fantasy football. That's it. So Google is not even the best search engine. Actually, Bing is. Bing tried to focus on how can we be the best search engine. But now Bing has fallen off, as it seems like they're not progressing. Well, Google, anything that got close to Google, they would buy them out. They would smother the business, corner it, and then buy them out and merge it and call it Google. So all the tech companies in Silicon Valley, they were looking to sell to Google. Well, the thing is, it's a when it was sold before Verizon owned it, the internet didn't help us. Well, it helps you get them some information quicker without having it. Before, if you needed information, you actually had to go to a library, you had to go to a university and research, So I knew how to, research a lot. So that helped me out. Well, Verizon, they're going to get rid of their media company. They had Verizon Media, which had uh, Yahoo in there and AOL, which means that the company was taking losses. So why keep those losses on your books? So they're going to be sold, and they're going to be sold to a private equity firm, and that private equity firm is going to buy them for like what, 5 billion. So they're still worth $5 billion to somebody. So now Apollo Global, what's that? Global Management, I think that's the name of it. They're going to be taking over. Yes, but see, the problem with the internet is that people can, they can expunge the internet. They can wipe things off the internet. So if you only have the internet and then someone wipes it off, it's gone forever. You can't find it. Someone has to have downloaded it or put it somewhere. But what you're doing is now they're limiting your knowledge. So if you have the book, they can't wipe the book. You see, this is what they used to do before there were libraries and people had to hide certain books because people would come and destroy it. So, well, Verizon's going to own 10% with their new deal. As part of the sale, they're going to own 10%. I see what you're saying. Yes, all the Patreon members that's on the Patreon, you guys are going to learn a lot. All the VIP members, you're going to see when I give you the birth to Christianity, you're going to see so much stuff that is going to blow your mind. It is literally going to blow your mind. So I already know what's going to happen when that video comes out because it's not what you think. It is visual. It is more visual than you've ever seen. This is not somebody doing conspiracy theory at all. You're going to be able to see. And when you see, you're going to be blown away because they can't you can't dispute it when you see it. So now, instead of someone just telling you something, you will be able to witness something. I mean, down the road, we might make it for all Patreons, but I know I have to make it VIP. That's too important. In 2015, just think about it. Verizon, though, going back to the subject, Verizon bought AOL in 2015 for like what's they pay, 9 billion. So they just sold both of them combined for 5 billion, and they keeping 10%. They haven't made any money. Well, what really destroyed AOL and Yahoo even further, and even Bing. Bing is not doing what it used to do when it was coming out to be the giant, because they tried to be the best search engine. As they were. They were better than Google, and they were better than AOL and Yahoo. But now Facebook came and got in the game. So now Facebook is a giant, a media giant. And Facebook wants to make its own Facebook money and everything else. Well, they have a place called TechCrunch. I don't know if you heard of TechCrunch, but it's the place where everybody goes and display all their best tech stuff. So it's a place where angel investors go. So people are always there at TechCrunch trying to find a new like Engadget, or despite all the difficulties, this is where they want to go. 5.2, I mean 4.2 billion is in cash going to Verizon. So that's telling you right there, they strapped. They want cash. Then 750 million is a minority stake piece into the deal. So no, because everybody uses the internet now. Your grandma's online shopping. So it's not just us keeping the internet going. Because in actuality, the average teen or a 20-year-old to 18-year-old, and they have the highest usage, but they don't really do anything. They only go to like maybe 3 pages tops. They're on Facebook all day, they're on the gram, they're on Snapchat. Those are their 3 main things. They're not really on YouTube like that, unless they're watching a clip or somebody sent them. They're mostly conversing in groups on social media platforms. They don't really research anything. It's very rare that you see people in the groups, or they like on YouTube watching videos. Most of them have jobs, and most of the people 18 to 24, they're in school. They're only watching it when it's a trending situation. They don't seem to know how to process information on their own unless a whole group of people are all in agreement. And then they like, oh wow, they're talking about it. It's in agreement. Now I can watch it. It's mind-boggling, but that just shows you the idea of the block of thinking. They have a hard time thinking for themselves. People who move in that type of motion, they have a hard time processing thought process, as far as making decisions on themselves. Anybody could come along and sway it if they have a majority of people saying, we need to do this, you need to get on board. Next thing you know, they jump aboard because they're not made to stand on their own. They don't know what that is. They've always made a decision with the village. village thinking. True indeed. True indeed. True indeed. So when it's all said and done, we're gonna see where it lines up when it's all said and done. But the way it's going, I think that a lot of people will be very interested. Village it is. Well, you know where they say it takes a village, but that doesn't say the village is all smart. You see, in certain African families and certain African villages, with the way they would eat would dictate certain tradition. There was a reason why they didn't get individual plates. The food would all be in the center, and they didn't have their individual plates. The majority of them would take whatever they was eating, a spoon or whatever, and they would all eat from the big piece. So everybody was eating, and they did this to share with everyone and saying, we are all part of this pie. This food is for us, all of us. So we eating together. But someone said, well, we should all get our own plates and keep it to ourselves. And that was a symbol of division and the change in the culture of tribes. When people started getting their individual meals, they started to think individually. This is mine, that's yours, instead of the village being together. And it ended up being a trend that ended up breaking in tradition, that everyone started getting their own plate. And when you get your own plate, you're thinking about what's on your plate. And that's my plate, this ain't yours. So the unity was broken. And people started to think individually and outside of the group of the village. So much about world history, man, that would blow your mind. Customs, things that your people, our people have done that has been lost in tradition, buried. But all the lies that they've been telling you will be uncovered. So get ready to see it. And let the games begin.